Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to another adventure flight. I haven't done anything like this for a while, so I thought I'd give it a try today. Today we're in Air Serbia, and we're at Nuremberg Airport, Echo Delta Delta November, and you can see the people inside the terminal there. We're in the A320 Neo, Air Serbia, and today we're off on a short, about 2 hours, maybe a little less, short flight to Nice, N-I-I-S, Constantine the Great Airport in Serbia. So as I said, flight time's around about 2 hours, maybe a little less. As you can see, they've had some snow here in excuse me, they've had some snow here at Nuremberg, but doesn't look too bad. We'll be taking off from runway 28 this morning, climbing initially to flight level 70, and it will be the Roddy 3 kilo departure. I'll put the details up with the route and the weather. Cruise altitude today is going to be 35,000 feet, and we have 160 passengers on board, 6 crew and 5 tons of baggage stroke freight. No ATC so far that I can see. I don't know whether we have any along the way, but we will be online with VATSIM. We're loaded up 6.5 tons of fuel. Takeoff weight today is just over 65.5 tons. So not terribly heavy, should be perfectly okay. The diversion today is Pristina, Bravo Kilo Papa Romeo, which is 90 miles away, should we have any problems getting into Nice, but I don't think there'll be anything, should be fine. Weather in Nice, variable winds, but generally from the northwest, so it'll be landing on runway 29. We got scattered clouds at 1700 feet, broken at 3700, 6 degrees. So as long as that doesn't change, it should be quite an interesting landing going in there. So it's now 11:33 Zulu, or 12:33 UK time. We're due out at 11:40. The aircraft is prepped, flight plans loaded, everything. We've just got to turn the APU on and get going. So thanks for joining me. I hope you're going to enjoy this, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the ground in Nice, but I'll keep you posted along the way. Okay, so let's start the APU. I'll put the beacon on just to let the ground staff know that we're getting ready to start up.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Thank you very much.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate a few minutes of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of the vehicle.
Okay, we're pretty much ready to go. We'll get everything, get the tug connected and the jetway sorted out. Okay, a quick call out on VATSIM to let everybody know what we're doing. Nuremberg traffic, good afternoon. Air Serbia 57 Lima, stand 11. We're an Airbus A320. Push and start for Nice, Constantine the Great Airport in Serbia. Departure runway 28 today, climbing initially level 70 on the Rosnik 3 kilo departure. And squawking 5200. Okay, before start, checklist. Threats, minimum equipment list is okay, weather is okay, alternate runway, there's only one engine taxi is all checked, trans altitude is 5,000, sector safe is 5,000, MSA 6,000, radio aids FMGC is checked, and the review. Okay, cockpit preparation is checked. The ACAR, the barometric pressure is checked, 1020. ACARS is running to record the flight. Park brake is set. Fuel on board. Init B is loaded. Flex to temp, well, we've set 51, but we're using Toga takeoff today. and the V speeds are checked. Passenger signs are on, beacons on, ATC knows we're storing windows and doors, flight deck door. We need to close the flight deck door. Checked. Okay, so we're ready for push and start. Here we go. And Nuremberg traffic, Air Serbia 57 Lima is pushing back, stand 11. Okay, I wasn't initially sure if we could get past everything, so I pushed back slightly at an angle, and let's start engines. So packs off. Starting number 2. And we have a light up on number 2. EGT is rising, see how high it goes today. Normally get a difference between engine 2 and engine 1. Sometimes it's quite a lot, sometimes it's not so much. Still climbing nicely. So 600 is the EGT today on engine 2. Stabilized. It's number 1 stabilized. Okay, set the auto brakes. Flaps 1. That goes off. Checked. Make sure the door is locked. It is. Packs go on. APU and bleed goes off. Taxi light. But before we do that, right, so we set the trim, which will be a 0.9 up. Is set. Flight control check, please. So there's the gross weight, 65,600, which matches my figures. So ailerons left, neutral, right, neutral, elevators up, neutral, down, neutral. Follow me through on the rudders. Right, neutral, left, neutral. That's all good. Okay then, after start checks, ground crew clearance is seen, tugs on its way. Anti-ice, we will put anti-ice on as we approach the runway. Flaps 1 are set, APU is off now. Electric pump status. Okay, so we've got the test come up, and the ECAM status. So let's do the check. Config is normal, that's good. And we'll give the cabin crew a bounce when we get close to the runway. Nuremberg traffic, it's Air Serbia 57 Lima. We have a good engine start. Taxi to runway 28 for departure. It's going to be November 2 to Alpha to hold short. Parking brakes off.
Nuremberg traffic, Lufthansa 7 Foxtrot Bravo. Now joining the ILS for runway 28, landing in about 3 minutes.
Have a good landing, sir. We'll hold short for you.
Perfect, thanks very much.
It's very white today, as you can see. It's really, really bright. And it's always like, it doesn't seem like there's an awful lot of clearance around here, but good enough, I should think. So now we're on Alpha. And there's the aircraft landing. You can see the lights in the distance. Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please. So since this is VATSIM and we don't know what scenery he's using, we're going to hold well short away from the runway threshold so we don't interfere with him as he comes into land. Nice big snowy runway today.
Traffic, Lufthansa 7 Foxtrot Bravo, taxi to gate 10 by shoot rate and Mach 2.
And Air Serbia 57 Lima is rolling runway 28, climbing initially level 70. Okay, let's go. Stabilized. Power set. Try and keep it in the middle of the runway, Lee. Airspeed is alive. 100 knots. Speed 1. Rotate. Positive rate. Have the gear up, please. And autopilot 1. Checked. And airborne at 57, looking pretty snowy out there. Set climb thrust. Climb thrust set. Flaps up, please. And passing 5,000. Set the standard QNH. Is set. Okay, anti-ice please. Landing after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up and off, ECAM is checked, no blue. Standard is set and cross-checked, and we have anti-ice engaged. After takeoff checklist is complete, and here we are at 70. Okay, everything is looking good. Let's start the climb up to 350. Bird traffic, Serbia 57 Lima is level at level 70. We're now eastbound, climbing level 350. Climb, thrust climb. There she goes. As you can see, spring is coming. Some of the snow is dissipating. Very, very nice. And 10,000 feet. Landing lights are off. Still have some cloud about, so we'll leave that for the moment. As you can see, a really nice view out here, climbing up quite nicely. So far everything's looking good. Okay, we're climbing out well clear of some of this cloud now, so we'll turn the anti-ice off. Very, very nice indeed. Okay guys, passing 15,000 feet. I'll come back to you in the cruise. See you in a little while. Well, welcome back folks. As you can see, we're in the cruise now, 35,000 feet. The weather down below is not great. As you can see, lots of cloud cover. But we'll try and give you some interesting views around the aircraft. And I hope you enjoy that. Oh, and there, if you look carefully, out here, you see another aircraft passing by. It's a KLM aircraft. The only reason I know that is I can see it on VATSPY. And he's a little higher up than we are, heading westbound. There you go folks, a beautiful view around the aircraft. It's a lovely repaint. I'll put the author's name up so you can see and go and get it if you're interested in it. This is for the fly-by-wire A320NX and it's a repaint of Air Serbia. Very, very nice aircraft indeed. So here we are in the cruise, everything's going well. Got about maybe 45 minutes or so before we start our descent. And looks like we might have an aircraft heading towards us. You can see it here on the TCAS, so let's go and have a close look. So there he is heading towards us, and he's 3,000 feet above us. So 38,000 feet, which is correct. Let's see whether or not we might be able to see him. He's coming pretty close now. There he is. Well, this has been nice to see two aircraft flying past. So as you can see, VATSIM can be quite fun when you get the models and everything sorted out. I don't profess to have them all sorted out, but so far I've been quite lucky. We saw the Lufthansa livery coming into land, while we were waiting for takeoff, and we've seen 2 aircraft pass us in the air. Beautiful day up here. It's cold, but the passengers are in there having their service. Everything looks good. So we'll come back to you as we get into the descent going into Nice. So I'll talk to you later. Well, welcome back, folks. As you can see, we're just coming up on 16,000 feet, and it's going to be an ILS runway 29 approach today into Constantine the Great Airport. I'm actually only 25 miles away from it. There, you can see it there. We're reducing speed and continuing the descent. All looking good so far. It's been a fairly routine, smooth flight. All we've got to do now is see if we can complete this approach. So the weather's not brilliant, as you can see, but we're doing okay. Going to bring this back to 240 actually. So 11,000 feet is transition level, and the current QNH is 1013. Getting a little bit of chop off the clouds. I'll put the weather up, but essentially it's not too bad. Winds are 320 at 10 knots variable, good visibility, scattered at 1700 and broken at 3700. Temperature 6 degrees, so yeah, looking cool. So just trying to bring the speed off. Okay, 11,000, set the QNH, 1013 set, and let's put landing lights on. So I'm going to bring this speed back. So as you can see, weather looks about right. Scattered and broken clouds down there, all looking quite nice. So we're going to continue down to 6,500, which is the correct level to make the approach. Beautiful, interesting, weathery day. I do like this kind of weather. So the briefing is completed. It's going to be a runway 29 ILS approach. Base leg to the right. And the runway 29 ILS approach has a 5-degree offset, so we're going to have to watch out for that and monitor it carefully. Everything is looking good. The missed approach climbs straight ahead at 7 DME or 0.7 DME. Be a left turn at maximum of 185 knots onto the 206 radial NDB. Straight up to Nice, climbing to 4,300 with the hold. Anti-ice on, just in case. Bring this back to 220. And here we are, 6,500 feet. The fuel's looking good, plenty of fuel. ILS is identified. Actually, we'll bring it back to flap limiting speed. But no, we'll leave it at 220. It's very nice, some interesting cloud formations out there. There comes the glide slope. What I might do actually is just extend this ever so slightly, just to make sure we do get below the glide slope and not right on it or above it. See what happens. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. It seems to be going above, which is fine. So we'll put that back on now so that it makes the turn. We're still in the clouds, so we'll leave the anti-ice on for the moment. East traffic, Air Serbia 57 Lima is now 6,500, turning right base for runway 29. There we go. Looking good so far. Okay, it's armed the localizer. Okay, crossing the high ground now, so we maintain 6,500. Set that to 10 miles.
2,500.
Check. Okay, so here we go. Now this is a localizer only approach, so although there's a glide slope there, it doesn't actually activate on the aircraft, so I'm going to have to initiate a descent, and I'm going to have to watch this carefully because this is a 5-degree offset approach. So let's keep on that heading and wait till the localizer arms. We're at 6,500 feet, which is fine. What I'm going to do is put this down to 1,000 feet. And then when the glide slope comes, we'll set the descent going. So localizer is armed, water brakes are low. Okay, there we are, coming on the localizer now. So what I will probably have to do is make a manual adjustment. At the last minute, see where the runway is. So let's start a descent now. 800 feet a minute. I just make it 1,000 to begin with. Back to 180. Let's have the gear down, please. Lights are on. Go down a bit lower. Okay, 160 please. Flaps. Okay, we're still way above the glide slope, so let's get down quicker. For some reason that wasn't taking us down. Okay, here we go. Looks like we're going to recover it now. To bring the speed back. Okay, there's the runway. As you can see, it's way off to the left. Not entirely certain if this approach is accurate, but we'll see. Let's bring the speed right off. Flaps full. So we'll follow this down.
2,500.
And then what happens is we will do a manual at the last minute. I want to get clear, keep clear of those hills on the left. Just want to see where it takes us. So I can see the runway and we're actually well off at the moment. So I'm just adjusting this. We'll go manual up until a certain point. Right, actually I think now we will go to manual. So autopilot disconnect. Localizers off, checked. So now we're going to just come and turn a little bit and grab that runway. So landing checks, gear is down, flaps are full, speed brakes armed, missed approach altitude, we need to set that. $4,300 is set. So let's come back towards, checked, come back towards the glide slope. This is looking a bit better. The wind is from, well, wind is pretty much straight ahead. Just to try and get this lined up properly.
$500.
Checked.
100 above.
Okay, I have the Pappies.
Minimum.
Continue.
$200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10, 5.
That wasn't too bad considering. Reverse green. 80 knots. Checked. Not bad at all. Could have been a lot worse. So enter the runway and turn round. And for those of you who'd like to see it, here's the landing again from a different perspective. Hope you enjoy it. So welcome to Constantine the Great Airport. We've got the military apron there on the right hand side and the civilian aprons on the left. And here we are parking on stand 2 and we have a marshaller. Excellent. Have to be really careful here because the brakes are a bit fierce. Nice one, we made it. Cut 2 and cut 1. Flight deck's unlocked. And the fuel 2980 by the looks of it. Well, there you go, folks. Welcome to Constantine the Great International Airport in Niš in Serbia. Interesting flight, particularly as we found the ILS was way off, so managed to do a manual approach. Thankfully the visibility was good enough to do it. Wasn't the greatest landing in the world, but we're down. So anyway, thanks for joining me on the flight. I hope you enjoyed it. Flight time was exactly 2 hours, and yeah, all good. So I hope to put the video up sometime this week, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, saying thank you for joining me. Once again, a little disclaimer to all my viewers: I'm not a real world pilot. I have done some private flying, but I'm not licensed. I have, however, spent many years flying Flight Simulator, right from Flight Sim 2 on the Commodore Amiga right through to this one, almost every one here. I was a tester for Microsoft UK many years back on the 747. And yeah, so I've learnt a lot. I'm still learning, and I still make big mistakes like many people do. But I hope you enjoy the content I put out, and give you some idea of what these new sceneries are like in the new simulator. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. This is Lee saying bye for now. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.